Have you ever wondered why you keep waking up at night? Feeling a strange pressure in your lower belly? Or sensing something just feels off down there? If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, and nighttime trips to the bathroom are starting to feel like a routine, you're not alone. I've spent years speaking privately with older men about these silent frustrations, ones they rarely share out loud. And what I've learned is this: most prostate issues don't begin with age. They begin with unnoticed habits, especially at night. In this video, we're going to explore 5 common nighttime habits that many older men follow without realizing the impact they're having on their prostate health. These aren't dramatic claims. They're rooted in real-life experience and medical understanding. And often, the damage doesn't come from what you do, once it comes from what you repeat every evening, without even thinking about it. A big glass of water before bed, that salty frozen meal, skipping the bathroom when you don't feel the urge. These choices seem harmless, but over time, they wear down a gland that's already working harder as you age. That's why I encourage you to watch this video until the end. Not only will you discover what to stop doing, but also how to give your prostate the rest, relief, and recovery it deserves. You might be surprised how just one small change tonight can help you sleep more soundly, feel lighter in the morning, and take back some control. Let's take the first step together. Number 1, drinking too much water before bed. One of the most overlooked habits that quietly challenges the prostate is drinking too much water late in the evening. At first glance, it might seem like a good thing. After all, staying hydrated is essential, especially for older adults who are told to drink more to support kidney function, digestion, and circulation. But the timing matters more than most people realize. When most of your daily fluid intake happens after dinner, especially within the 2 hours before bedtime, it places extra strain on a system that may already be struggling. As men age, the prostate naturally tends to grow. That growth narrows the passage where urine flows, slows down emptying, and forces your bladder and prostate to work harder just to keep up. Now imagine adding a full glass or 2 of water to this already taxed system. Right before sleep, instead of entering a restful state, your body goes into overdrive. Your bladder fills quicker. The urge to urinate comes sooner. And your prostate, already under pressure, can't keep up with the repeated demands. You wake up once, then again, and again. Many men chalk this up to just getting older. But the truth is, you may be stuck in a preventable cycle. Late fluid intake leads to bladder pressure, which leads to inflammation, which leads to more nighttime urgency. I remember speaking with a man named Raymond, 82 years old, who believed in drinking 2 tall glasses of water before bed. He said it cleansed his system overnight. But for years, he hadn't experienced an uninterrupted night's sleep. When I asked if he had ever tried adjusting his drinking schedule, he paused, then agreed to give it a try. Within a week, everything changed. He shifted most of his hydration to earlier in the day, especially before 6 p.m., and only took small sips after dinner. Suddenly, instead of waking up 4 or 5 times, he was waking only once. He looked at me and said, "Turns out, I didn't have a prostate problem. I had a schedule problem." That insight stayed with me. Hydration is still essential. Please don't stop drinking water. But giving your prostate a break during the night can help more than you realize. Try to front-load your water earlier in the day. Drink consistently throughout the morning and afternoon, and taper off as the evening approaches. That way, your body can process and release fluids while you're awake, not while you're trying to rest. And if you feel thirsty at night, take a gentle sip, just enough to comfort your throat, not fill your bladder. Sometimes, the smallest changes bring the greatest relief. Let your body rest. Let your prostate recover. You might just wake up tomorrow morning feeling lighter, clearer, and more in control simply because you stopped drinking too much water too late. Number 2, eating salty or processed foods at night. For many older adults, Dinner becomes the most comforting part of the day. After long hours of activity or rest, sitting down to a warm meal feels like a reward. It's no surprise that convenient foods like frozen dinners, canned soups, or deli meats often end up on the plate. They're easy, fast, and familiar. But when it comes to your prostate health, these salty and processed meals could be silently working against you. The issue isn't simply the salt, it's how your body responds to it. High-sodium foods cause the body to retain fluids throughout the day. And when it's finally time for rest, your system shifts into elimination mode, trying to flush out those excess fluids. This often happens during the night, forcing your bladder to fill, your sleep to break, and your prostate to respond again and again. If you've ever thought, "But I didn't drink much water tonight," consider this: the sodium in your dinner might be doing more harm than you imagined. Processed meals don't just affect your bladder. They keep your kidneys and cardiovascular system active longer into the night. Your body, instead of resting, stays alert. That alertness keeps you from entering the deeper, healing stages of sleep. And if your prostate is already sensitive or enlarged, this ongoing internal stress can lead to even more inflammation and discomfort. You may wake up the next morning feeling sluggish, heavy in your pelvic area, and wondering why your symptoms feel worse. I once spoke with a man named Martin. He was 74 and came in confused. "I don't drink late," he said. "I even go before bed. Why do I keep waking up?" When we explored his habits, the answer became clear. Martin's dinners were full of quick, salty options: television dinners, canned chili, snack mixes. He didn't realize they were part of the problem. After switching to lighter, fresher meals with steamed vegetables, lean protein, and less salt, he began to notice a change fast. Within 3 nights, his body felt calmer and his sleep deeper. He told me, "I had no idea food could make that much of a difference down there." And he was right. The prostate doesn't just respond to liquids, it reacts to the total condition of your body. Salty, processed foods raise blood pressure, slow circulation, and make it harder for your system to drain fluids smoothly. That means more pressure where you don't need it, especially during the hours your body should be healing. What's the solution? It's simpler than you think. Opt for dinners that support your body's need to rest. Choose nourishing options like steamed broccoli, baked salmon, or a warm bowl of oatmeal. These foods comfort without clogging. They fill you up but don't weigh your system down. You don't need a complicated diet or a strict plan, just small shifts in your routine toward less salt, fewer preservatives, and more whole foods can ease your nights and protect your prostate. If this second habit sounds familiar to you, or if you've ever turned to salty convenience meals at the end of the day, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment with the number 2 below to let me know you're still with us. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and turning on the bell for future videos. Your support helps us keep creating thoughtful, helpful content for those navigating the journey of aging with strength and wisdom. Now, let's keep going. Number 3, holding in urine during the night. It's a common experience for many older men, waking up in the middle of the night, feeling the need to urinate, but deciding to stay in bed. Maybe it's because you're too tired. Maybe it feels like too much effort. Or maybe you've told yourself, it can wait until morning. But what if ignoring that signal is doing more harm than you realize? When you resist the urge to go, your bladder doesn't pause, it keeps filling. Over time, the walls of your bladder stretch and become less flexible. That may not seem like a big deal at first, but it creates irritation and weakens your ability to empty fully later on. This is where the prostate begins to feel the pressure as urine builds up. So does pressure in the lower urinary tract. For a man with an aging or enlarged prostate, that pressure pushes directly onto a gland that's already working overtime. The result: more inflammation, slower flow, and in some cases, an increased risk of urinary infections, and that discomfort you feel in the morning, the sense that something is still left behind, even after you go. That's often due to residual urine that wasn't released fully, which can become a breeding ground for bacteria and chronic irritation. It's not just a matter of comfort, it's a mechanical issue. When you ignore the urge to urinate, you delay the system's natural rhythm, and the longer you wait, the more tension builds in your pelvic area, making it harder for your body to reset properly. I remember a gentleman named Robert, who was 79 when we spoke. He told me, "I try not to get up unless I absolutely have to. I don't want to disturb my sleep." But he also mentioned waking up with a tight sensation in his lower belly and feeling like his bladder never emptied completely in the morning. I gently suggested that he respond to the urge rather than ignore it, even if it meant getting up once or twice. Within a few days, he noticed the difference: less pressure, fewer lingering sensations, and better flow each morning. He said, "I didn't know my body was giving me a warning. I thought it was just a nuisance." But it wasn't a nuisance, it was wisdom. Your body speaks in signals, and when it tells you to release, it's not being inconvenient. It's trying to protect you. Of course, no one wants to be waking up every hour. That's why it's important to support your sleep by managing the habits we've already discussed, avoiding too much fluid late in the evening, and reducing salty or processed foods that strain your system. But when the need arises, don't fight it. Get up, move slowly, and allow your body to do what it's meant to do. Your bladder will thank you. So will your prostate. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do for your health is to simply listen. Number 4, sleeping on your stomach. Of all the habits that silently affect prostate health, your sleeping position is one that often gets overlooked. It sounds innocent enough, just lying down to rest, but if you're a man over 60 and you tend to sleep on your stomach, this simple routine might be placing constant pressure on the one area of your body that already needs more space and relief, your lower abdomen and pelvic region. When you lie face down, your body weight naturally shifts forward. While you may not feel it, this forward pressure can compress the bladder, the lower abdominal wall, and most importantly, the area surrounding your prostate. This pressure might seem small, but over 6 to 8 hours each night, it becomes cumulative, and night after night, it builds tension in the pelvic floor, reduces blood flow, and interferes with proper urinary drainage. The prostate is incredibly sensitive to any sort of inflammation or congestion. It's a small gland, yes, but it plays a big role in how smoothly everything functions down there. Sleeping in a position that compresses that area can quietly worsen symptoms of an enlarged prostate, leading to more discomfort, more urgency at night, and slower flow in the morning, all without you connecting it to the way you sleep. I once met a man named Dennis. He was 73 and had recently started experiencing morning tightness in his lower abdomen. He assumed it was digestion related. But when we looked closer, something stood out. He always fell asleep on his stomach, often curling one leg up to the side. After switching to sleeping on his side with a pillow between his knees, he told me, "I didn't know how much tension I was holding until I changed the way I slept." Within weeks, he felt lighter in the mornings, less irritated, and his nighttime bathroom visits had decreased. You don't need to force yourself into a rigid new posture overnight, but making small changes like side sleeping, especially on your left side, can ease pressure on your internal organs and improve circulation throughout your pelvic area. Some men also find relief by slightly elevating their legs or using a wedge pillow to take the downward weight off the bladder and prostate. The key is gentle experimentation. Your body is already trying to heal, it just needs the right conditions. And since you spend about a third of your life sleeping, this isn't a minor factor. A small shift in how you position yourself tonight could lead to real relief over time. So if you're someone who often wakes up feeling unrested, heavy in your lower belly, or dealing with frequent nighttime urgency, Take a moment to consider your sleeping habits. You might discover that one of the easiest ways to support your prostate is by giving it the space to relax while you sleep. If this insight resonates with you, please leave a comment below with the number 4 so I know you're here and taking this journey with us. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Elderly Wisdom Journey, I invite you to do so now and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to keep creating meaningful, helpful content for men like you seeking real solutions for better sleep, better health, and a better life. Number 5, ignoring the urge to urinate before bed. It may seem like a small decision. You're already tucked into bed, warm and settled, and you feel the faint urge to urinate, but instead of getting up, you tell yourself, "I'll just go in the morning." For many older men, this habit feels harmless. Yet over time, it can quietly lead to greater pressure, inflammation, and irritation in one of the most sensitive areas of the aging male body, the prostate. As men grow older, the bladder and prostate become less forgiving. Going to bed without emptying your bladder, even if it feels only partially full, means that urine will sit for hours overnight. This creates a low, steady pressure on your bladder wall and, indirectly, on your prostate. Over time, this pressure can become more than just uncomfortable. It can signal your body that something isn't functioning as it should. And the prostate often responds to these subtle signs by becoming inflamed or even slightly enlarged, contributing to interrupted sleep, slower urine flow, and a sense of not fully emptying even after using the bathroom. The problem isn't just mechanical, it's biological. When urine remains in the bladder too long, it creates a warm, stagnant environment. This can increase the risk of bacterial growth, leading to low-level irritation and even mild infections. For a man already dealing with prostate issues, this additional layer of stress is the last thing your body needs. I once had a conversation with a 69-year-old man named Raymond. He told me that for years, he didn't bother with that final trip to the bathroom before bed because he didn't feel the need. But what he did feel was an increasing sense of tightness in his lower abdomen in the mornings and a frustrating delay when trying to start urinating. After we spoke, he decided to make one small change, to simply go to the bathroom before sleep every night, regardless of how strong the urge was. Within a few nights, he noticed less discomfort, smoother flow in the morning, and fewer awakenings during the night. This isn't about forcing anything. It's about routine, including a final bathroom visit as part of your nightly wind-down, alongside brushing your teeth and washing your face, sends a powerful message to your body. We're done for the day. Even if you only urinate a little, you're giving your system a chance to reset, reducing the pressure that builds up overnight. For men with an aging or already enlarged prostate, this small step can offer surprising relief, less pressure, less inflammation, and deeper, more restorative sleep. It's a tiny habit that carries significant health benefits not just for your nights, but for your mornings, too. And if this message resonates with you, if you've ever skipped that final trip and paid for it later, let us know in the comments by typing number 5 below. We'd love to hear from you. Your stories and reflections help others realize they're not alone in this journey. While you're here, consider subscribing to Elderly Wisdom Journey and turning on the notification bell so you won't miss other health insights designed to help you sleep better, feel stronger, and live fully at every age. So many older men quietly endure their prostate troubles, believing it's just another price of aging. The restless nights, the constant pressure down below, the frustrating feeling of never quite emptying at all becomes part of the routine. But what if those problems weren't just signs of getting older? What if they were signals from your body asking for a change? Tonight, we've explored 5 subtle habits many men over 60 follow without much thought: drinking too much water late in the evening, having salty or heavily processed dinners, ignoring the urge to urinate before bed, sleeping on the stomach, and skipping that final bathroom trip. Each of these actions might seem harmless on its own, but together, night after night, they place unnecessary strain on a part of your body already working hard to keep up. Here's the good news. Your body is not giving up on you. Far from it, it's incredibly resilient and responsive. You don't need a miracle pill or a complete lifestyle overhaul. Often, the first step is simply removing what's been silently making things worse. When you stop feeding the stress, the body has space to heal. Letting go of these nighttime habits is not about giving up comfort, it's about reclaiming it. Imagine waking up with less urgency, fewer interruptions, and more energy. It starts with small, thoughtful choices before bed, a glass of water earlier in the evening, a lighter dinner, a moment to listen to your body before you settle in for the night. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits surprise you most? Which one will you try changing? Starting tonight, leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Your story could be exactly what another man needs to hear to start his own path to better nights and healthier mornings. If this video helped you reflect or inspire to change, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to keep sharing insights that matter because every small step counts when it comes to aging with strength and dignity.